प्रेम से बोले सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। प्रिया सोच परिहरहु सब, सुमिरहु श्री भगवान। पार्वती निरमय जेहि, सोई करहि कल्याण। सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। नाथ मम संकट हरो हरि। अब जाओ तुम ही सुता पर हो, तौ सजाई सिखावन हो। करई सुत पूजे ही मिलही महेशु। आन उपाय न मिटहि कलेसु। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। नारद बचन सगर्भ सहेतु, सुंदर सब गुण निधि वृष हेतु। अस विचारी तुम तजहु असंका। सबहि भांति संकरु अकलंका। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। सुनि पति बचन हरषि मन माहि। कही तुरत उठि गिरिजा पाहि। उमहि बिलोकी नयन भरे बारी। सहित स्नेह गोद बैठारी। बारहि बार देती उर लाई। गद गद कंठन कछु कहि जाई। जगत मातु सर्वज्ञ भवानी। मातु सुखद बोली मृदु वाणी। श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। सुनहि मातु मैलिख हस, सपन सुनावहु तोहि। सुंदर गौर सुबिबर असव उपदेश मोहि सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। करहि जाई तपोशैल कुमारी, नारद कहा सो सत्य विचारी। मातु पितहि पुनि मत आवा, सुख प्रद दुख दोष न सावा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। तप बल रचई प्रपंच विधाता, तप बल विष्णु सकल जग त्राता। तप बल शंभु करहि संहारा, तप बल से शुधरई मैं पारा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। तप आधार सब सृष्टि भवानी, करहि जाई तपु अस जिय जानी। सुनत बचन विसमित महतारी, सपन सुनाए हो गिरिहकारी। मातु पितहि बहु विधि समझाई, चलियो मातप पित हर्षाई। प्रिय परिवार पिता माता, पावन पाता। श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। जय जय राम। वेद सिरा मुनि आई तब, सबहि कहा समुझाई। पार्वती महिमा सुनत, रहे प्रबोधहि पाई। सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। धरि उमा प्राणपति चरना जाई विपिन लागी तपु करना अति सुकुमार तनु तप जोगो पति पत सुमेरी तजेयु सब भोगो श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम नित नव चरण उपज अनुरागा सरी देह तपहि मनु लागा संपत सहस मूल फल खाए साकु खाई सत बरस गवाए श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम कछु दिन भोजन मारी बतासा किए कठिन कछु दिन उपवासा तेलवाती मही परई सुखाई तीनि सहस संबत सोई खाई पुनि परिहरे सुखाने परना महिना तब भयु अपरना देखियु मही तप कीन शरीरा गिरा भई गगन कबीरा श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम भयउ मनोरथ सुफल तवा सुनो गिरिराज कुमारी परिहरु तु सह कलेश स्तब अब मिलहि त्रिपुरारी सियापति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। असत पुकाहु न कीन भवानी अनेक धीर मुनि ज्ञानी अब और धरहु ब्रह्म वर पानी सत्य सदा संतत सुचि चानी। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। आवै पिता बुलावन जबहि। अथ परिहरि घर जाएहु तबहि। मिलहि तुम्हि जब सप्तऋषि सा। जानेहु तब प्रमाण बाकी सा। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। सुनत गिरा निधि गगन बखानी। पुलक गात गिरिजाहर शानी। उमा चरित सुंदर मैं गावा। सुनहु शंभु कर चरित सुहावा। जबते सती जाई तनु त्यागा। तबते सेवा मन भयउ विरागा। जपहि सदा रघुनायक नामा। चाहता सुनहि राम गुण रामा। श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। चिदानंद सुख धाम शिव। विगत मोह मद काम। पिचरहि महि धरि हृदय हरि। सकल लोक अभिराम सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। कतहु मुनि न उपदेसहि ज्ञाना। कतहु राम गुण करेहि बखाना। जदपि अकाम तदपि भगवाना। भगत बिरह दुख दुखित सुजाना। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। यही विधि गए कालु बहु देखा, तभी चल हृदय भगति कई देखा। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। प्रगटे राम कृतज्ञ कृपाला, रूपशील निधि तेज विशाला। बहु प्रकार शंकर ही सराहा, तुम बिनु असप्रत को निर्वाहा। बहु विधि राम शिव ही समुझावा, पार्वती कर जन्म सुनावा। अति पुनीत गिरिजा कई करनी, विस्तर सहित कृपा निधि परनी। जय राम श्री राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय राम श्री राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। अब विनती मम सुनहु शिव, जो मो पर निजुनेहु। जाई विवाहु शैलजहि, यह मोहि मागे देहु सिया। पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। कह शिव जदपि उचित हस नाही, नाथ बचन पुनि मेटि न जाहि। सिर धरिया येसु करिय तुम्हारा, परम धर्मो यह नाथ हमारा। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। मातु पिता गुण प्रभु के बानी, बिनहि विचार करिय शुभ जानी। तुम सब भांति परम हितकारी, सिर पर नाथ तुम्हारी। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। प्रभु तो शेयु सुनि संग कर बचना, भक्ति विवेक धर्म जुत रचना, कह प्रभु हर तुम्हार पन रहे हो, अब और राखे हो जो हम कहे हो, अंतर ध्यान भये अस भाषी, शंकर सोई मूरति उर राखी, तब यही सप्त ऋषि शिव पहि आए, बोले प्रभु अति बचन सुहाए, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। पार्वती पहि जाई तुम्हा, प्रेम परीक्षा लेहु, गिरि प्रेरि पठयेहु भवना, दूरी करेहु संदेहु सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। सिंह गौरी देखी तह कैसी, मूरति मंत तपस्या जैसी, बोले मुनि सुनु शैल कुमारी, करहु कवन कारण तपुहारी, श्री राम जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, यही अवराधहु का तुम चाहु, अमसन सत्य मरमु के न कहु, कहत मरमु मनु अति सकुचाई, हसिहु सुनि हमारी जड़ताई, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, मनोहर परा न सुनई सिखावा, चाहत बारी पर भीति उठावा, नारद कहा सत्य सोई जाना, बिनु पंखन हम चाहि उड़ाना, देखो मुनि अविवेको हमारा, राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। सुनत बचन बिहसे ऋषय गिरि संभव तव देहु नारद कर उपदेश सुनी कहु बसयु किसुगे हुसिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। दक्ष सुतन उपदेशे निजाई तन्हा फिर भुवनो न देखा आई चित्रकेतु कर धरुन हाला करक कपिसु पर पुनिय सहाला श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। नारद सिख जे सुनहि नर नारी अबसी होहि तजि भुवनो भिखारी मनक पतितन सजन चीन्हा आपु सरिस सब चह कीन्हा श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। तेहि के वचन मानी विश्वासा तुम चाहु पति सहज उदासा निर्गुण नीलज कुबेश कृपाली अकुल अघेह अगंबरु ब्याली कहु कभन सुख असबरु पाई अलपुली हो ठग के बहुराये पंच कहे शिव सती विवाही पुरियवडेरी मराए निताही श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। अब सुख सोवत सोचो नहीं भीख मागी भव काहि सहज एकाकिन के भवन कबहु किनारी खटाहि सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम। अजहु मानहु कहा हमारा अब तुम कहो बरु नीक विचारा। अति सुंदर सुचि सुखद सुशीला जसु लीला दूषण रहित सकल गुण राशि श्रीपति पुर वैकुंठ निवासी असबर तुम्हें मिलाओ सुरत बिहसी कह वचन भवानी सत्य कहेहु गिरिभव तनु अतन छोट छोट बरु देहा कनकौ पुनि अशानते होई चारे सहज न परिहर सोई नारद बचन न मैं परिहरऊ सौ पवन उजरो नहीं डरऊ गुर के बचन प्रीति तेन जयहि सपदेहु सुगमन सुख सिद्धि देहि। श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम। महादेव अवगुण भवन विष्णु सकल गुण धाम जय कर मनोरम जाहि सन तेहि तेहि सन काम सिया पति रामचंद्र जी की जय शरणम।
Prakashananda, founder and Acharya of the Chinmaya mission of Trinidad and Tobago, members of the Chinmaya mission, Pandit Veda Prasad, spiritual leader of the Ramjit and Basu Prasad Hindu temple, Pandit Bisram Siudadji, to all joining in with us tonight via the live radio broadcast on 101.7 FM TT, a Heritage Communications Limited company, via the live stream on the Ramjit and Basu Prasad Hindu Temple Facebook page, and on the SNR Productions YouTube channel. Devotees, friends, Namaste O Sitaram. I am Nigel Suchit, and it is my singular pleasure to welcome Swami Prakashananda ji the members of the Chinmaya mission, and by extension, all of you, to the Ramjit and Basu Prasad Hindu temple on this, the 8th night of the 108 nights of Ramayana Yajna, being celebrated throughout the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago, as the Chinmaya mission of Trinidad and Tobago celebrate their 25th anniversary. Today is duly auspicious, as it would have been the 71st birthday of the patriarch of this household and the benefactor of this temple, the late Sri Harinarayan Hari Prasad, a man of action and a supporter of Dharma. Just 1 year ago to this date, on the occasion of his 70th birthday, he performed the Prana Pratishta ceremony for the beautiful 40-foot Shiva Murti on this compound. Gone, but his work and his legacy lives on in so many ways. As an avid devotee of Lord Hanuman and Lord Ram, there is no better way to celebrate his life than by listening to the verses of the sacred Ramcharitmanas. I am proud to be able to say that I was able to benefit from the knowledge and teachings of a young brahmachari prem during my youth in the camps of Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh. Over the years, I've admired the work of Swami Prakashananda ji, who I know as a man of action as much as an inspirational and spiritual leader and life coach. Someone who jumps on a tractor to cut grass, or who is there hand in hand with the workers during the construction and development of the ashram. You are indeed an inspiration and role model for all of us, Swamiji. On this very special night, I would like to call on Pandit Veda Prasad to present a token of our appreciation for Swamiji on behalf of the entire Hari Prasad and Ramjit and Basu Prasad Hindu temple family. So as Pandit ji makes the presentation, I note that it is a picture of Swamiji and the late Mr. Harinarayan Hari Prasad as he welcomed Swamiji to this temple on the 42nd night of the 108th Jana Yajna of the Chinmaya mission of Trinidad and Tobago 6 years ago, on the 24th of February 2016. Thank you, Pandit Veda. And I now hand you over to Swami Prakashananda and the Brahmacharyans of the Chinmaya mission. Let us all continue to do our part to maintain all COVID-19 protocols to help battle this pandemic. Namaste and Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram. Kapit jambu phalasar bhakshanam umasutam shok vinashkaranam Namami Vighneshwar Pad Pankajam Ya Kundendu Tusharhar Dhavala Ya Shubhra Vastravrita Ya Veena Varadanda Mandita Kara Ya Shvet Padmasana Ya Brahma Achyuta Shankar Prabhritivihi Devai Sada Vandita Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Samam Patu Saraswati Bhagavati Nishesh Jadyapaha Gurur Brahma गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः लोकाभिरामम् रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् लोकाभिरामम् रणरङ्गधीरम् राजीवनेत्रम् रघुवंशनाथम् कारुण्यरूपम् करुणाकरं तम् श्रीरामचन्द्रम् शरणं प्रपद्ये कारुण्यरूपम् करुणाकरं तम् श्रीरामचन्द्रम् शरणं प्रपद्ये मंगलभवन मंगलहारी द्रव दशरथ अजिर विहारी श्री राम जय राम रघुकुल रीति सदा चलियाए प्राण जाई बरु बचन न जाई श्री राम जय अवध तहाँ जहाँ राम निवासु दिवस तहै जहाँ भानु प्रकाशु श्री राम जय बरे भाग मानुष तन पावा सुरदुर्लभ सब ग्रंथ निगावा नहीं कलिकर मन भक्ति विवेकु राम नाम अवलंबन एको राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय कर्म प्रधान विश्व करि राखा, जो जस करई सो तस फल चाखा। काहू न को सुख दुख कर दाता, निज कृत कर्म भोग सब भ्राता। श्री राम राम कथा के तेई अधिकारी, जिनके सत्संग गति अति प्यारी। श्री राम जय राम,
जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
होई ही सोई जो राम रचि राखा, ओ करि तर्क बढ़ावे साखा। श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम, श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम। बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम। बोलो राजा राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
राजा राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम।
बोलो राम राम राम, सीता राम राम राम। बोलो राम राम सीता राम राम राम। श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय। If you're joining us tonight for the first time, we are seeing more or less 10 dohas every night. What we do, we have somebody who chants, and then those dohas, we try to have the gist of in the night. We're a little bit behind, but don't worry, we'll catch up. We'll do like tomatoes and catch up. But some places you will find that we are going slowly, and some places you will find that we are going fast. And life is like that. Sometimes you have to slow down, sometimes you have to speed up. So we speed up in those places where the katha is either not well known or not too relevant for our present situation, but where they are very relevant, we slow down. And so the last few days we have been behind. Today we resume in number 62. We're supposed to start number 70, beyond 70. But we resume after 62. This is where we stopped last night. We'll chant this verse 62, and then I will, after 62, and then I will tell you. We'll pick it up. We'll pick up the thread from last night. See that? After 62. Shri Ram Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. सब गाइए.
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
पिता भवन जब गए भवानी,
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
दक्ष त्रास का न सम्मानी,
श्री राम जय राम, जय जय राम।
सादर भले मिली एक माता
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
भगिनी मिली बहुत मुस्काता
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
तक्षण कछु पूछी कुशलाता
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
सती बिलो की जरे सब गाता
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
सती जाए देखे तब जागा
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
कथहु न दीक शंभु कर भागा
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
Shri Ram Jaya Ram Jaya Jaya Ram
जय रघुराम
Jaya Raghuram
जय सीताराम जय सीताराम श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय Sati heard that her father had a yajna, big yajna. Why? The father had gotten a big promotion from Brahmaji. Brahmaji is his father. He is to become a Daksha Prajapati. He is in charge of all the manifested beings in the world. He was given a promotion. And Tulsidaji's comment is, nobody in this world gets a promotion and doesn't become drunk with power. You get power. And here, he had a yajna now for this promotion, to celebrate his promotion. And in that yajna, he invited all of his daughters and all of his son-in-laws and all of his family and everybody, but he did not invite Sati, this daughter, because he had some problem with Lord Shiva, her husband. Now you see all these things not only goes on in our society at an ordinary level, this thing goes on at this level also. Because, you please pay attention, please pay attention to this. This is a very interesting thing. Vihaya kamanya sarvan pumam charati nispriha ityadi. Bhagavan teaches so many things in Bhagavad Gita about dropping kam, krodh, mada, lobh. Kam, krodh, lobh. Trividam narakastyedam dwaram nashanam atmahana. They are doors to hell. Kam, krodh, and lobh means desire, anger and greed and all such things. Right? Bhagavan teaches in Gita. Everywhere the scriptures teach. Now you tell. Desire, anger, greed, which he gives there, the three main ones. Of course, there are all the others that follow. Shad, Vikar. In Aranyakand, we'll see others also. Who is shielded from this Kam, Krodha, Lobh? Think. Who is shielded? With Jiva. No Jiva is exempt, isn't it? Kam, Krodha, Lobh is common from an ordinary person, from rank to Raja. Rank means a beggar. Raja to rank. Kam, Krodh, Lobh is there in everyone. Therefore, what will be the behavior of the rank will be the same behavior of the Raja. Correct or not? So he'll get angry and he will do things he's not supposed to do, the beggar. And the king also will get angry and do things that he is not supposed to do. Because the Durguna is what guides the person to do whatever he does. Durguna means the evil trait or quality. That will make anybody do anything. You see? So, here now, Daksha Prajapati who's gotten this very high position, he also now discriminates between his daughters also. And because he has some feud with daughter's husband, Shankar Bhagavan. So he did not invite them. But not being invited is okay also. Actually, if you don't get invited somewhere, you should say thank you. It's good. You get an opportunity, you just stay and chill out home. But Sati said, Prabhu, can I go? Prabhu said, Sati, I don't think that is a good idea. Bhagavan Shiva said, I don't think that is a good idea. Wherever you are not invited, you should not go. But wives have a habit of not listening to their husband. Sati, all the same. How you know that, Swamiji? Wife don't listen to their husband? I see in Ramayana. So she went. Now, this is where we stopped there last night. When she is leaving, Lord Shiva is thinking, this is not good. This will not lead to anything good. He's thinking like that only. But she left. And she left, he thought, since she's going, I might as well send some of these ganas with her, some of the attendants there. He sent with. So she went to them. Tulsidas ji, Pita bhavana jab gai bhavani. When she went to her father's house there now, Dat chatras kahuna sanmani. Everybody being scared of Daksha, her father, who was a very powerful man. Everybody being scared, nobody welcomed her. Hey, Sati, come, please. Sit down. Nobody. Everybody, attention. Sati, come. Oh. They look back straight. Because they are scared, if they welcome Sati, that will anger Daksha. This is Tulsidaji's presentation. Huh? Nobody welcomed her. Nobody showed her any good face, as we say in Trinidad language. Sadara bhalehi mili ek mata. But mother is mother. Mother left everybody and came and met Sati. Then, Bhagini, Mili, then her sister, after the mother met. See, the sister did not move. But when the mother met Sati, then the sisters came. And they had a good laugh. And Tulsidashi. When sisters meet up, I think they may have a good laugh also, because that is what he writes here. Then, Dakshana kachupuchi kusalata. Daksha did not ask one single word. Sati, how are you? You keeping well? Daksha did not ask a word about her welfare, how she is doing. Not only that, the next line says, father, this is her own father. Satihi viloki jare sabgata. He boiled it from inside. He burnt. Jare means he boiled, burnt. Seeing her there means he did not want her to be there. But she came. Sati jai dekheu. Then Sati did not mind any of this. She went where the Yajna was going. Sati jai dekheu taba jaga. She went to see that Yajna's arrangement. And when she went there, katahuna di kasambukara bhaga. She did not see any portion of the oblations, the offerings kept aside for Lord Shiva, her husband. Because the oblations are usually kept for Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. Nothing was kept. Well, now she's seeing that. Tava chita charheu jo sankara kaheu. She understood why Lord Shiva was telling, you should not go there. This is what Tulsidaji writes. Because going there now, instead of getting anything good, now she became Prabhu apaman samuji uradaheu. Uradaheu means now her heart burnt that it did not keep aside any offerings for Lord Shiva. Pachil dukhuna hridaya asa vyapa jasayaha bhayau mahaparitapa. Tulsidashi's description is, when Lord Shiva, those of you who missed out, I have to tell now. Lord Shiva had relinquished her as his wife. See the graveness of the act, huh? Relinquished Sati as his wife. And here, now when she came to this yajna and she did not see a portion set aside for Lord Shiva, Tulsidas says, now her heart burned more than when Lord Shiva had dropped her as his wife. Now the pain was more. You can go on doing a lot of vichar as to how this is so, But now the pain is more intense. They did not keep anything aside for Lord Shiva. Jadyapi jagadaruna dukhunana sabate kathina jati avamana. Tulsidashi gives a hint as to why. Sometimes in life you will see. He gives a hint as to why her heart pained more now as opposed to when Lord Shiva relinquished her as his wife. And what is the explanation? Actually, Tulsidas's explanation is not far-fetched. It's a very common thing, I'll tell you. That people get more pain with regards to theirs rather than with regards to themselves. What is the meaning of that? Look here. If a person insults me, it is okay. But if that person insults my wife, so the insult to me is less painful. But he insults my wife. So whatever I possess, or whatever I own, or whatever is in my care, or that, if that thing is insulted, or if that thing is harmed in any way, I get more pain. This is actually something very common in life. You just look around in your own life and you will see. If somebody make a mistake with a bat, and they were meant to hit something else and the bat hit you instead. Right? The bat hit you instead. See, oh man, he hit me with a bat. But suppose the man hit your car with a bat. You see what I'm talking about? This is Tulsidaji's suggestion. Your brand new car. You will say, better you hit me. So Tulsidaji's suggestion is not far-fetched, isn't it? Very true, actually. So, he says, when it comes to ours, the Bhagavad Gita starts like this, Me and mine. Me, I don't care so much about what is mine. Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yutsavaha Mamakaha Pandavaschaiva Kimakurvata Sanjaya. There, the blind king, Dhritarashtra, he starts the Bhagavad Gita by asking, what about my children on the battlefield? What happened to them? He's asking Sanjaya. Who is asking about? First comes my children. So here, that's my husband. They disrespected him. Samuji so satihi bhayau atikrotha. She got so angry that they disrespected her husband. Bahuvidhi janani kina prabodha. And she told to her mother in many ways. The mother tried to make her understand also. But number 63, see. Sati. अपमानु न जाय सही हृदय न होई प्रबोधो राम हृदय न होई प्रबोध सकल सभीत हचकी गवा बोली बचन सक्रोध सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. Shiva Pamanana Jai Sahi, she could not bear the insult to Lord Shiva. Now she got, in other words, hurt, and the hurt turned into anger also. Huh? And see, sometimes we say also, we justify it also. We say, yes, how you could disrespect Lord Shiva like that? But if she had followed Lord Shiva had told, Arey, don't go there. Don't go there. So the insult would have come and gone and nobody would have known. But anyway, now it happened. She burnt inside and also at the same time anger. Hridayana hoi prabodh. She could not think properly now also. Sakala sabhi hati hataki tava boli vachana sakrod. With great anger now she shouted out at the whole sabha. Daksha, her father, and all the Rishi Muni, all the Devatas, everybody who had come there, except Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. She shouted out at all of them, Suno Sabhasada Sakala Muninda. Listen all of you, all the people who have gathered here, including the Rishis. Kai Suni Jina Sankara Ninda. Whoever has today disrespected Lord Shiva, so phalu turata lahabas avakahu. You will all get the result of your disrespect to Lord Shiva just now. Jagat Janani telling, Mother of the universe. Just now you will all get that. Bhalivanti pachita pitahu. And not only that, my father also will just now regret. And in the next chaupai, I used to hear this as a child, Then now I know it came from Ramayana. Next chaupai says, Sant Sambhu Shri Pati Apavada Suniya Jahatah Asi Marjada Katiya Tasu Jeeb Jo Basai Shravana Mudi Na Ta Chaliya Parai. This is a rule. What is the rule? I'm just telling you the rule. You think about it in your time. Huh? What is the rule? If you are present any place where there is disrespect to Sant Sambhu Shripati, disrespect to Guru is included in that also in Bhagavatam. Sant, Guru, Lord Shiva and Bhagavan Vishnu. If you are present any place, I'm telling the rule from here, I'm not making up the rule. Huh? Don't go and say Swami Prakashananda said that. Tell Ramayana said that. If you are present any place where any of these four are disrespected, what is the rule now? Katyatasu jeeb jo basai. That person who is making that disrespect, we're telling, you have to cut off his tongue if you are capable. And if you are not capable, Shravana Mudi Nata Chaliya Parai. Turn your ears and run away from there. This is the rule. Well, Sati also did not do any of this. She did not follow this rule. What she did? Pita mandamati nindata tehi dacha sukra sambhava yaha dehi. She said, this body of mine, this Sati's body came from this father. And therefore, I'm not going to keep this body anymore. A grave act in the midst of, actually there's something called Sati in India, which the British had to outlaw. This is where it finds its rudiments. तजिहौ तुरत देह ते ही हेतु श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
पुरथरि चंद्र मौलि वृष केतु
श्री राम जय राम
अस कही जोग अगिनी तनु जारा
श्री राम जय राम
भयउ सकल मख हाहाकारा
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय रघुराम
जय रघुराम
जय सीताराम
जय सीताराम
श्यावर रामचंद्र की जय तजिहौ तुरत देह तेहि हेतु. Because this body has come from this father, mother, of course she means. I have dropped this body here and now. Loudly she proclaimed in front of everybody. Uradhari Chandramauli Vishaketu. In her heart she kept Bhagavan Shiva, and there Asakahi Jog Agini Tanu Jara. In Yoga Agni, there's a technique in yoga. If one invokes the Agni Tattva inside, one can burn this body just like that. You don't have to get permission from the government. Jog Agni it is called here. This happens several times in Ramayana. Jog Agni. Then Bhayau Sakalas Makha Ha. Everybody who were there present, they made, how we say in Trini now? I don't know how you'll say it. Hahakar means, oh my God, OMG, like that. Sati Maranusuni, Sambhu Gana, the Ganas who had come with her, when they heard their Lage Karanamakha kiss, they started uprooting everything, throwing and pelting and demolishing everything there. But Jagya Vidvansa Biloki Bhrigu Rishi was present there. He protected the Yajna. Then the news reached to Bhagavan Shankar also. Bhagavan Shankar took out a hair from his head like this, jata, and threw it. And that Veerabhadra, the whole story, long story is there. I remember I don't know if Doc is here. I met Dr. Winthrop in Haridwar. And he took me to a Rishikesh. He took me to a Veerabhadra temple, very famous there. That Veerabhadra came out from that strand of hair. And that Veerabhadra came there and demolished everything. Bhrigu and all the rishis who were there, they had to run away also. Daksha also, that Veerabhadra came there and cut off his head. Big thing happened there now. Cut off Daksha's head. Later on he got a goat head. Goat head. You know why? Goat always going meh. Kabir Sahib writes at one place. Maina bole maina. The maina bird says maina. Not me. He doesn't speak about himself. Maina bole maina. To mool bhayo 10-20. Its price goes up manifold, you know. Price increases. The bird is an expensive bird. Bakri is a goat. Bakri bole meh, like that. The goat goes me, mine, like that. Bakri bole meh, to Kabir katayo. Cease. You get his head cut off. So that's what happened to Daksha. Me, my power. What I want. No. Today only somebody wrote. They sent a message asking about all of this. This guna, it comes from the Buddhi Sampradaya. Buddhi Sampradaya means when there is pure intellectualism and it is not tempered by Shraddha, that pure intellectualism has no place for Shraddha, for faith. And so the person finds himself prey to incorrigibility and self-opinion, becoming self-opinionated and all of that. And so they don't care about who say what or who think this or who. If I say it is right, it is right. They only think about from their standpoint. My power is that which matters, not the other person's power. And Daksha had this guna, and now this guna trickled down also into Sati, and where there was no room for the Shraddha which is required. And we saw this on the previous days, that when the Ram Katha was told even by the great Agastya Muni, it was told by Lord Shiva also, the Shraddha was not there, so that did not sink in. Faith was not there. So it didn't sink in. So now what has to happen? Sati has dropped this body now, and now she has to do tapas and go through all the, what we call the grind. She has to do tapas, go through the grind and develop, and that faith is developed so nicely now. She is born as Parvati ji. The faith is developed so nicely in that next birth now. And Bhagwan Shiva told that Ram Katha to her, and that went straight inside. But this is the path we all have to go through. The evolution takes place only by lot of, in order for something to shine, you can't rub that thing with plastic, You have to rub it with sandpaper. Correct or not? Huh? How you think will shine? You rub it with plastic? Get sandpaper and better yet, get a grinder and get a wire brush and it will shine like anything. So for the human potential, she is, I told you last night, she is the very embodiment of Shraddha. But this Shraddha is there inside, shrouded by so many various types of vasanas and so many various types of durgunas and all that sort of thing. She is playing the role of a jiva who has inside Sachit Ananda, but is shrouded in there, veiled, covered up. That comes out. One actualizes one's true potential of Satchitananda, realizes Satchitananda only by this rubbing and this constant stress and tension. We don't evolve by sukha, we evolve by dukkha only. So we saw this last night in detail. So now, here, she has gone through all of this. First, 87,000 years, her husband did not speak with her. He dropped her. She was burning for 87,000 and he was in samadhi. Silent treatment. Then the father had Yajna, did not invite her. And she went there, saw this, all this thing, all what happened. So angry, shouted at all of them. So many things happened. Now the father lost his head also. Literally and figuratively. Lost his head, they put a goat head. Even in those days, there was a head transplant, you see. But anyway, now, Tulsidashi now relates the next part of the katha, where she is born now as the daughter of Himavan. She takes birth in that house. Himavan is the deity of Himalayas. Himavan, he is called. And Tulsidashi goes in many lines telling how when she is born there, how that place got a new, how it started to flourish, got a new look. The place, like when Bhagwan came to this Dandakaranya, it is said that place was dry and arid. But when he came there, life came there. But when now Bhavani is born to Himavan, their life came to that whole forest. to that whole mountain. Everywhere. When the mother of the universe herself is born, imagine how beauty will descend upon that place. And the very embodiment of beauty. The birth of Bhavani in Himavan's house. Let us sing a little bit to glorify the mother also before we continue. Devi Bhavani Ma, Jai Devi Bhavani Ma, Devi Bhavani Ma,
Jai Devi Bhavani Ma,
Devi Bhavani Ma, Jai Devi Bhavani Ma,
Devi Bhavani Ma, Jai Devi Bhavani Ma.
दया करो देवी माँ, कृपा करो देवी माँ,
दया करो देवी माँ, कृपा करो देवी माँ,
दया करो देवी माँ, कृपा करो देवी माँ, जय माँ, जय देवी भवानी माँ, जय माँ, जय देवी भवानी माँ, जय दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जगदम्ब भवानी माँ, जय दुर्गा भवानी माँ, जगदम्ब भवानी अम्बे माँ, 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 ओ अम्बे माँ, 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 बोलो जगदम्बा माता की जय. Bhavani took birth in the house of that great Himavan. Her mother's name was Maina. Just now we're talking about Maina. Tulsidas ji writes, Narad heard the news and Narad came there to that home because the mother of the universe herself is born in that home. Narad came there very fast. नारद समाचार सब पाए श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
कौतुक ही गिरी कहे सिधाए
श्री राम जय जय राम
शैल राज बर आदर कीना श्री राम जय राम
जय जय राम
पद पखारे वर आसन दीना
श्री राम जय राम
कह मुनि बेहसी मूड मृदुबानी
श्री राम जय राम
कह मुनि बेहसी गूढ़ मृदुबानी
श्री राम जय राम
सुता तुम्हारी सकल गुण खानी
श्री राम जय राम
सुंदर सहज सुशील सयानी
श्री राम जय राम
नाम उमा अंबिका भवानी
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम
श्री राम
जय राम जय जय राम सियावर रामचंद्र की जय. Narad heard the news and Narad is actually the guru of Parvati ji. This will come later again. He is the guru. Narad samachar sab paaye kautuka hi giri gaye sidhaye. He presented himself there in Himavan's palace now there. And Sailraj bada adara kinha, and he was duly received by the great king Himavan, and his feet was washed and all of that and brought and given a seat. And then the king also, Himavan now, told, Trikala Jagya Sarvagya, Tuma, you know all things, O Narad. Gati Sarvatra Tumhari, and you're there everywhere you go from place to place. Kahu Suta Ke Dosha Guna Munibara Hridaya Vichari. Now you please tell all about the good qualities of this baby who is born. And all the bad qualities. You tell. He told to Narada. In other words, you tell her fortune. He asked Narada to tell the fortune of Bhavani. Kaha muni bihasi gura mridu bani suta tumhari sakal guna khani. The Muni smiled and he said, my dear Himavan, this daughter who is born to you, she is the storehouse of all great qualities. Sundar Sahaja, Susila Sayani, beautiful, well balanced, Susil with good character and qualities, and Sayani wise. Nama Uma, her name shall be Uma. Ambika, 3 names he lists. Bhavani, all the names are given for, by Narad ji is telling. Tabalachana Sampanna Kumari, she is the very storehouse of all great qualities. Then our Himavan said, but you only told all good things, you know. In life, we saw this on previous nights. The nature of the sansar, the jagat is structured in such a way that it is made up in every atom of positive and negative. You cannot just have positives alone, cannot run the world. There must be the other side as well. The bicycle cannot run with one pedal. You can try. Or a bird fly with one wing. It doesn't happen. So now, Himavan told, you told all good things about this Bhavani, Uma. Now you tell some. Saila sulachana suta tumhari. Sunahu je avaguna dui chari. You have to tell some of the negative things also. Aguna aman matu pitu hina udasi na sabasamsaya china. Now, what? Actually, this is part of the whole tradition also. The whole tradition, when a girl child is born, quickly they start, that goes on today also. I wonder what type of husband she will get. Correct or not? When boy is born, they don't say, I wonder what type of wife he'll get. But when a girl is born, they say, I wonder what type of husband she'll get. So Narada starts like that only to tell. Well, sorry to tell you all, but her husband, that fellow will be homeless, clothesless, moneyless, everything less. Narada Ji is referring to. Actually, he's telling her birth at that time and all that is such that she will have a husband who will be like that. What is that? Homeless, moneyless, penniless, this, that, everything. In number 67, he describes. Jogi jatil akam mana गगन अमंगल वेशो राम नगन अमंगल वेश अस स्वामी एहि कह मिलिहि परिहस्त सिरेक सिया वर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम उमापति पवन सुत हनुमान की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय सियावर रामचंद्र की जय शरणम. She will get a husband who is jogi. Jogi means he has no likes or no fancy for worldly life. So if she wants a new car, he will say, what new car, She wants new clothes, jogi. He'll be like that. Jatil. Jatil means he will tie up his hair in a jata. She'll have a husband like that. Akam, no desires. He wants nothing. Akam mana. Nagan, no clothes also. She husband will have no clothes. Amangala vesh. And if he does wear anything, it will be so despicable. He wears snakes, for instance. Wears snake. And he wears ashes from the smashan ghat. From the cremation site. Asaswami ehi kaha milihi. Parihasta asirek. This is what is written here. Narada is actually reading her hand. Written on the hand. Now, the mother and the king, they got really sad, miserable. But my daughter will get married to a beggar? Narada told a very nice thing. This is now just before 69. Few lines before 69. See that. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Shri Ram
Jai Ram
Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
जय जय बर के दोष बखाने
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
ते सब शिव पही मैं अनुमाने
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
जो विवाह शंकर सन होई
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
दोष गुण सम कह सब कोई
Shri Ram Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री राम जय
Jaya Ram, Jaya Jaya Ram.
श्री राम जय राम जय जय राम श्री
Shri Ram Jaya Ram,
जय जय राम. Narad said all this jati, jogi, jatil, nagan, no clothes, naked, he will be wearing ashes, or what all, amangal vesh, whatever all things. Her husband will be. I'm telling, there is one way out of this. Lord Shiva matches this description. So if this Uma, Parvati, marries this Lord Shiva, all of these amangal things, this is a very wonderful truism. You have to think about this. Usually we don't think about these things in life, but see, what is actually happening, the dynamics of what is happening here has to be understood. All of the things which we consider to be what? He is penniless, homeless, clothesless, nothing he has. Amangal, everything. But because it is Lord Shiva, all of what we consider to be amangal, inauspicious, all of it turns out to be auspicious. And this is a truism about the universe. Please pay attention to this. A thing gets value, or has value, not inherently. In this world, a thing doesn't have inherent value. Value is superimposed on the thing. This is what is happening behind the scenes here. So, the ashes come from the cremation site. That is the ashes he wears, Lord Shiva. Right? So, who wants ashes from the cremation site? Nobody wants that, to put on their body. But that same ashes, if it comes and it is on the body of Lord Shiva now, quickly somebody will take and because the value of the thing was now added by the greatness of Lord Shiva. See, if you go to buy an old car, you offer the man $1,000, I want to buy this car, old car. Right? But then the man tells, what? This old car? This car you only want to pay $1,000? No. You can't. This car was once owned by Sir Solomon Hochoy. Oh. But the same car that you could buy from your neighbor for $1,000, your neighbor one might be better. But because it came into contact with Sir Solomon Hochoy, well, now the car that really worth $1,000 now will be worth many more $1,000, isn't it? That contact with that personality superimposed on the object added value which was not there. And this is the rule about the world in which we live. Actually, it is human beings who add value to things. Things don't have any inherent value. This is the basic rule. And the greater the human being, the greater value is added to that thing. That is the idea. So now, Narada is telling all these things which you consider to be inauspicious. Lord Shiva has all of these things. And if she marries Lord Shiva, everything will be fine. And now Narada ji tells, my dear Uma, you go and you do tapas. Asa kahi Narad sumiri hari, girijahi deenhi asis, hoihi yah kalyan abba samsaya tajahu giris. Because the wife and the husband, Himavan and his wife, they became really, not upset, really worried about poor daughter. But who she will marry? Narad suggested this thing and he left. And now Uma, little girl, little Uma, she went to do tapas. And through that tapas, asked for a boon to marry Lord Shiva. Now this is after this is just before number 63. We'll have time only to do 1 or 2 verses. We'll pick it up again tomorrow. Now see. Before 73, sorry, not 63. See. Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Sab gaiye. Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Karhi jai tapu Kaila Kumari.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Narad kaha so satya vichari.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Matu pita hi puni yah mat bhava.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Tapu sukh prada dukh dosh nasava.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Tap pal rachai prapanchu vidhata. Shri Ram Jai Ram
Jai Jai Ram.
Tap pal Vishnu sakal jagatrapa.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram.
Satapastaptva, the Upanishad tells. The Supreme Reality did tapas. Idagam sarvam asrijat, he says. And from him ensued this entire universe because of his tapas. This actually portion comes from Upanishad. Tulsidas ji was a great scholar of Upanishad, Gita, everything. Here, through his pen and through the mouth of Himavan and his wife, they are telling, Karai jai tapukai Saila Kumari, Narada kaha so satya vichari. what Narada says, that you have to do tapas and marry this Lord Shiva. That is the correct thing. Go and do tapas. They are telling to their daughter. Matu pitahi puniyaha mata bhava tapu sukha prada dukha doshana sava. Tap. And the operative word here is tapas. Now I'll introduce this word today. Our time has run out. We cannot do justice to this thing until tomorrow. But let me tell you this word. Tap, dhatu in Sanskrit means to burn. This is the literal meaning of the root, the Sanskrit root. Tap means to burn. Tapati, he burns, like that. So, tapas always involves some burning. Burning means what? Going through hardship. You can't go and do tapas in an air-conditioned room. You have to go through some hardship. It means something which we do not like and something which is uncomfortable and which takes away my comfort and all of that. I have to go through that. That is called as tapas. If I am very comfortable and all that kind of thing, then it is not tapas. That is why when students leave and go to an ashram to study, all the rules change. All the rules that you had at home, all those rules change. So many things you cannot do. Like for example, in our Vedanta course, see, first class 5:30 a.m. Every single day, no holidays. People like holidays. No holidays. No Saturday, Sunday, Monday, nothing. Every day. Then second thing, last class ends 8 o'clock in the night. Now, which school is start 5:30 in the morning and end 8 in the night? It's all part of the tapas built into the thing, you see. The hardship must be there. I told you that previously, in sukha, there is no evolution. In the environment, you ask the biologists also, they'll tell. In the environment, only when there are stresses and tensions in the environment, then the organism metamorphosizes and evolves. If everything is going smoothly in that environment, that organism will remain the same forever. He has to meet tensions in the environment. Well, in the very same way, for spiritual evolution, tapas is required, but here it is self-imposed. We don't wait for the nature. Nature will do, it will take a long time, and it will do, and there's surely going to be evolution. But tapas is a self-imposed discipline where we deny ourselves certain things for speedy evolution. That is the idea, spiritual evolution. So now, several verses on tapas here, which comes from the Upanishads. We will pick up this tomorrow. Now, Bhavani, little Bhavani, she is going to do tapas to get Lord Shiva as her husband. Now, this is insofar as these verses are concerned. And let me tell you two Purana. I told you about Purana last night. In the lilies that you see in the pond, there are flowers here, leaves here, and so many things you see on that. But below the water, below the surface of the water, underneath, all these roots are connected to each other. Like that. In this Ramcharitamanas, here, Sati is Bhavani. In the beginning I told you, she is Shraddha, the very embodiment of Shraddha, faith. And that faith is shrouded, is hidden inside. So this is then beginning. Bhavani Shankarao Vande Shraddha Vishwasarupino in beginning of Ramayana. She is called as Shraddha. But then when Ram Katha is told to her, she has no Shraddha. She displays no Shraddha. Tulsidaji says about all of us, my nature is Sachidananda. But we don't display Sachidananda. So evolution has to take place and I have to come to get more in touch with my own true nature. So she is playing the role of the Jiva here. This is what we have to do to get in touch with our true nature, which is Satchitananda. And this is demonstrated here in the beginning of Ramayana, and this same thing is demonstrated in the end of Ramayana. So this is two places, beginning and end, it is being demonstrated. In the end, it will be the journey of Kakabhushundi and all the trials and tribulations and all the troubles that he had to go through, and the same absence of faith and all of that. The same thing in Uttarakhand. So Ramayana is also bracketed with these two stories, where the jiva has the absence of faith. Faith means what? The faith in the absolute, in a higher principle, in something in this universe which is beyond us. Something in this universe which is responsible for the manifestation of the universe. Faith in that thing. Or even thinking about that thing. Considering that thing. Most people don't. We just walk about our daily lives with, quite oblivious of anything higher. This is the jiva. And this is why the jiva never actualizes his true nature. Realizes his true nature. So here is the Sati story, and there the Kakabhushundi story, beginning and end of Ramayana. Because this is really telling about how the jiva is. He doesn't have faith in God and all of these things. Anyway, we will pick up this. No, my time has ended for today. We'll pick up this tomorrow at the ashram. Tomorrow at the ashram. Okay, in Kuva. Now let me say a very special thank you to Vedji and all the members of this temple. We were here in 2016. He gave me a picture just now. It took me back to 2016 when we were doing Bhagavad Gita. And I was here also recently just now for some wedding. Somebody, not my wedding, some other wedding. Somebody was getting married here, Sharda, and I had come for that ceremony just a few weeks ago. All right. So, thank you very much for having us. And we are very delighted that we could actually come in this area also and share the Ramayana. Of course, because of Hans Ji and his radio station. People, I told you, now Marcia might be listening in Brazil. People all over the world are listening. So, thank you to everybody who has contributed in some way to make it all happen. Okay. We will have the vote of thanks before the Aarti, or we'll have... Let's have after the Aarti. Huh? Okay. Please have a look at our bookstall at the back. The Prasad today, every night we are giving a Prasad. This is the whole Ramayana which we did in 2017. Whole Ramayana, every line. Here we cannot do every line in 108 days, but this was almost 2 years. So the whole thing is here. We are giving this as a token, Prasad, to all the various temples where we are going. So I'd like to call on Ms. Nadia Mahabir to receive this on behalf of the temple. And then we will have Aarti. A special thank you to Avinash Kisun from the Hindu Students Council for having chanted for us today. Please accept this little token from all of us at the ashram. It's a flash drive with the whole Ramayana explained. Okay. आरती के लिए सब खड़े हो जाइए, बाद में देखेंगे. आरती श्री रामायण जी की.
आरती श्री रामायण जी की.
कीरति कलित ललित सियपी की.
कीरति कलित ललित सियपी.
गावत ब्रह्मादिक मुनि नारद वाल्मीकि ज्ञान विषाद सुख सन सनकादिशेष अरु सारद बरनी पवन सुत कीरति
आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति कलित सिया
गावत वेद पुराण अष्टदश छौ शास्त्र सब ग्रंथन को रस मुनि जन धन संतन को सर्वस सार अंश सम्मत सब ही
आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति कलित सिया
गावत संतत शंभु भवानी अरुघत संभव मुनि विज्ञानी व्यास आदि कवि पर जब खानी काग भुषुंडी गरुड़ खेही
आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति कलित
कलिमल हरनि विषय रस फीकी सुभग सिंगार मुक्ति जुबती की चलन रोग भव मूरी अमी की सात मात सब विधि तुलसी की
आरति श्री रामायण जी कीरति कलित
श्री राम जय 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 राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय रघुराम जय सीताराम श्री राम जय जय राम
श्री राम जय राम
जय रघुराम जय रघुराम जय सीताराम
जय सीताराम
जय श्री राम जय श्री राम मंगलम भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्षं मंगलायतनो हरिः त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव ॐ पूर्णमद पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम। बोलो सियावर रामचंद्र की जय, पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सत्य सनातन धर्म की जय। नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव। हरि ओम तत्सत। Now Vedji will do the honors for us.
Again, to each and every one of you. Swamiji, it gives us a great pleasure to welcome you to Chinmaya Mission, Trinidad and Tobago, on your mammoth 108 nights of Ramayana Katha. Again, it is a very simple duty I have this evening, which is to say thank you for all of you who have considered this mandir, considered this village, considered this particular ashram as one of the 108 nights in your pilgrimage throughout this country. And definitely it is with the mind of spreading dharma. And coincidentally, or coincidentally, however you want to look at it, today we also share the birth anniversary of the late Sri Narada Prasad ji, my father, who would have celebrated his 71st birthday today. So to each and every one of you who would have made this day a spectacular one, I use the word spectacular because that was one of his favorite words in his vocabulary. Building this ashram was the purpose for, or with the purpose in mind of what you are doing today is exactly why it was built. Open to each and every one who would want to come to share and learn and to be able to experience in the bliss of that great heritage handed down to us by our forefathers. And it gives me a great pleasure, a great honor to live his life's legacy even after he has gone. Because what you see before you is what he has left for us to continue. It was a dream. That simple flying murti in the car park outside of Hanumanji was a dream that he had. The 40-foot Shiva ji outside as well was also his heart's desire to see this truth. And in his living life, while the soul was in the human body, he was able to be around. And just as we were greeting Swamiji while he was entering, I said, Swamiji, you were supposed to have been here at the consecration exactly 1 year ago. He said, what he told me just before coming through those doors is that this is how it was supposed to be. And that is exactly how life, how Bhagavan has intended our souls. For those of you who are here, even with the restrictions of the COVID-19 and the pandemic, you were chosen to be here by the ultimate and primordial master. And you were guided to be here for that purpose. So that's why I share this happiness this evening on behalf of his lineage, which, most people don't understand that the name of the mandir is called the Ramjit and Basu Prasad Hindu Temple. Ramjit and Basu is the name of my father's mother and father. So to memorialize their lives and what they did for him, this mandir was named. And he gave the mandir the name that it has today. Because of our forefathers, because of what they instilled into us. So it is a very simple duty. I don't want to keep you back very much longer, but it is to thank each and every one of you for being here. Shrishti ji, who has joined us for live feed this evening, Sankhya Television, 101.7, as well as those of you who are joining regionally, locally, as well as internationally. We reach out to you and may the divine light reach you from the very lips of Swamiji. And permit me one joke. Swamiji is very much versed in making anyone laugh at any time. And I see all the brahmacharis and everybody who is associated with Swamiji automatically laugh. I saw the smile through the masks. And here is my joke for this evening. When we were about to start, I sat on the floor and my little nephew came and he sat right beside me on the floor. And he came towards me and he said, "What time is it going to finish?" I said, "Well, it didn't even start yet." He said, "Okay." So you got on the phone and I'm looking at him. So okay, I just left him there to be. So every time Swamiji would have mentioned these words of Ramayana Katha a couple of times, and he asked and posed the question to us all here. He said, "Who would want to marry such a being who has the ashes from the cremation site on their skin?" And the little boy answered. He said, "Not me." So I looked across at him and I'm thinking to myself, well, he really is paying attention.
Yeah.
He really is listening. Now he's 8 years old. I don't know what the plan is for afterwards, but before the prayer starts, he's like, what time is it finishing? So in my mind, I was like, little boy, Chanchal, he was the eyeball of my grandfather, and every single where that my dad would have gone, prayers or otherwise, or any activity, work, he would always be with him from birth. So he shares a special, very, very, very special connection with him. So a little way through again, Swamiji posed the question, and he also answers. He said, well, just before, he looks at his mother when Swamiji says, I wonder what kind of husband you will get, thinking about the girl. And he watching his mom, and he watching his dad. So now, I am sitting next to him, and I am seeing his mind is all over. And intermittently, he picking up the phone. I realize he's not playing a game, right? Because all he's using, he took the phone and he took a picture of his grandfather and he set it at the screen, as his screen wallpaper. And he keep on showing it to me. I was like, okay, yes, that is Nana. Only afterwards I realized he keep on showing me the time. He said, but Swamiji is supposed to finish 8 o'clock. I said, okay, pay attention and we'll get food just now because I realize he's getting hungry. But the point is, dear devotees, even in the purest state of mind of the child, despite all the distractions, despite all the thoughts that is going on in his mind, he is paying attention to every single word Swamiji is saying. Now, I am now older. I wouldn't say my age, but I am aged at the physical body, and I'm thinking to myself, as I grow older, I hope that I have the intellect of this little child. Because to me, I could bet anything that he have no idea what Swamiji is saying. But the point is that from my understanding, sitting right next to him, is that he understood and he was listening to every single word. Now, it makes me feel proud in a sense because yes, he's my nephew. But the reason why I'm mentioning it now is because it is such a powerful thing to be able to understand what is going on subconsciously in the child's mind. So, maybe I'm just saying, I hope I could continue to be like that or be more like that. Swamiji also says in the past, and my Guruji also, Swami, I'm not going to say Swami Abhidanand, right? Pandit Abhidanandji, he says, be childlike. To have the innocence and the purity. So, in a simple message on behalf of my family, again, it is a very simple duty to welcome you all here. With a humble heart, we hope that you would have enjoyed the words coming out of the lips of Swamiji, so melodious and so being able to communicate to any individual, even a little 8-year-old, because it's not very many people can do that. If you can captivate the mind of an 8-year-old and keep him listening, you are something special, and that you are, Swamiji. So continue on these balance of nights, of these 108 nights, as you know, continue to be safe and follow the guidelines and the protocols. We have meals prepared, very light meals prepared for you as you're leaving. At the back, it is already pre-boxed, so you can take your boxes as you're leaving, as you're exiting the door, because we're trying to mitigate against gathering and eating together with your masks off. So please abide, and I know as we are together, and we want to interact and be near and close to each other. Please, just before our satsang started, I saw that today we had 1,200 and something plus cases. So be mindful, not only tonight, but anywhere you go, that this virus is real and transmission is even more real now than before. So take every step that you possibly can do to protect your lives and those around you. So on behalf of the Mandir, on behalf of my family, my mother Parvati, who is joining us via live stream from Canada, and my 2 brothers who are also in Canada, we wish you a happy and safe journey back home as you would take the words of Swamiji with you. And also the members of this Mandir, thank you for coming here and sharing, and everybody who would have contributed in such a way to be able to entertain you and to house you in such a safe manner this evening, because it really was I don't want to say it was a difficult thing, but it's a very important physical thing and I don't want to use the word chemical, right? But the thing is, so many chemicals involved in cleaning and sanitizing. Before, in preparation, during, and you will see that while you're leaving, and then afterwards. So the science of our scripture is keeping us safe and alive. So let's continue to oblige by the protocols. As well as, Swamiji, you know, the mandir here is open at any time. So anytime you wish, you and your members, for any purpose or any event that you would like to host, because of the words that I am saying that I heard my father and his instruction to me, it is open to anyone and everyone across our land to be able to share in Dharma. So I thank you very much again, and I ask you to please join with us with a meal of sharing the Prasad, etc. before you leave. Hari Om, Jai Sri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram.